Hello everyone and welcome back to Obake Hunters. Now you might be wondering what's up with the long inactivity on this channel and why did you guys only do a bunch of videos? Well, this was originally supposed to be run by 3 people. Me, which is God of Doom of course, Pazzi, who's also a good friend of mine, and Ian, Wally the Legend, who's also a good friend of mine. Now we all have our schedules, some of us had school and stuff, some of us had jobs, some of us had main channels as well. I myself actually am trying to run 3 channels at this time, but I still really want to do something on this channel because I watch a lot of anime, I read a lot of manga, I'm into that shit. If you've seen my figurine collection, I am quite a fan indeed. So I want to take this this video to sort of freeform talk about why Fairy Tail is my favorite, personally my favorite longest running show. And when I say longest running show, I don't want to say shonen by the way, because other people might be like, oh, you know what, that shorter show is also a shonen. So what I mean when I say longest running show, I'm talking about shows like Naruto and Naruto Shippuden, I'm talking about Bleach, I'm talking about One Piece, those shows, and Fairy Tail is among them, and it's my favorite. And I actually did watch Naruto before that. I also watched One Piece before that, but once I started to watch Fairy Tail, also guys, by the way, and I'm so sorry if this freeform chat is not for you guys, but if you rather want something scripted on this channel, please do let me know, because feedback is an amazing thing to work with, and that's how we figure out like what you want, how I can improve my stuff, etc, etc. But anyway, let me tell you a story how I got to Fairy Tail. So, well, before I watched Fairy Tail, I pretty much watched stuff like Naruto Shippuden mostly, not a lot of other animes. I was just like, yeah, you know what, I'll watch the show, it's pretty cool, ninjas and stuff like that. I like the universe a lot. I don't really like where it's going where it went lately at the end of Shippuden, but that's for a whole nother bunch of videos. Don't want to put that in here, but pretty much a friend of mine was always watching Fairy Tail, and also Steins Gate. That friend is also responsible for me getting into Steins Gate, which is one of my favorite anime shows, by the way, just anime series, I should say. I always say show, so I'm sorry if that annoys you, but yeah, Steins Gate was one of my favorite, just, oh my god, it's so good. I love that show. It's just drama and time travel done well and everything, but I shouldn't get into that because I can get quite rambly. It's about Fairy Tail right now. Now that friend also watched Fairy Tail, and I always just commented like, why is tail spelled like an actual tail? And then I finally ranted on the show as, well, yeah, just enough to the point where I'm like, you know what, I want to check out an episode, because they always called fan service on Fairy Tail, always called fan service, always called it like, oh, that's a silly name or whatever. I checked it out, and it had such a Monster Hunter feel to me. And when I say Monster Hunter feel, it's because, well, okay, so let me explain Fairy Tail really briefly. You have this world where some people have magic, like a small portion of people have magic, and a large portion of people do not have magic, and the people who do not have magic can put up jobs to guilds, and they can take them. So for example, my cat is stuck in a tree, I need a wizard's help. That's what they can do, and yeah, people form guilds to sort of become like a second family. Well, in a lot of cases like in first family, because a lot of the characters in the show have pretty damn crazy childhoods and everything, and lost a lot of people and all that stuff. But I don't want to get into the story too much, because if, well, whatever I say intrigues you in this video, and I'm so sorry if it's too rambly, I get a bit self-conscious about just rambling. Hopefully I do a good job of explaining it. But, yeah, you have wizards and you have non-magical people, and it's just a very Monster Hunter-esque feel, because these groups of people within the guild, they're all pretty much friendly with one another, depending on the guild. I mean, the guild itself, Fairy Tail, which is the main guild where the entire show is focused around. I mean, look, they're called Fairy Tail, and they're called Fairy Tail for a pretty good reason, by the way. And it also justifies the name, like the weird spelling of the name, which is in fact a tail, more tail of an animal. It makes sense, okay? It makes a lot of sense once you actually get into the show. And just a few episodes in, I was just hooked completely. Like, it was just a light-hearted atmosphere to it, and it still got serious at a lot of points, so it pretty much had everything what I wanted. I very much like the magic deal as well, because magic in that show was done just really well, okay? Really well. For example, Natsu, who's one of the main characters, he's a fire dragon slayer, and dragon slayers, you're expecting magic from the show, right? Like, so magic. So when I think magic, let's go stereotypical magic, like, oh, Gandalf, like he's a wizard. So I expected magic like that, but turns out, like, Natsu had crazy physical magic, so he was more just punching and spewing spewing fire and stuff like that. I was pretty impressed because he pulls that shit in the first episode, and it's a good intro to the show. Like, they have a really solid first episode, and of course the animation. I love the animation style. I love the character art and everything. You either love it or you don't. But I don't want to make this video like, oh, I hate Fairy Tail. No, I love it. A lot of people love it. If you don't, well, too bad, I guess. I mean, you can't love everything. But yeah, I don't want to make it a war on Fairy Tail, because a lot of people, especially One Piece fans, they do tend to hate on Fairy Tail because they're like, oh, they ripped off characters, when in reality, no, they really didn't. Stop getting upset over nothing. I watch both shows, and no, there's nothing like that going on. Anyway, magic is just done so really well in the show, and with each new villain and each new I'm just gonna call them wizards, by the way, because I like the word wizard. You could say magic users, whatever, Madoshi, whatever you want, okay? I like saying wizards. It's fun. With each new wizard you see, it's just like, wow, they have some really interesting new magic, and it's cool, it's refreshing, it never grows stale for me. Like, even now, when the manga is getting to a ridiculous point where there's a second time skip. This show is on a second time skip, which I find so dang awesome. Like, I like that, okay? Because the first time skip was not a traditional one. So this is pretty exciting that there's something like, you know what? Time skip for a year, but I'm getting everything mixed up. Why I love it is just, I just love the whole idea of it, that you join a guild, and then within those guilds you can either group up with other people, or just group up with, or just go lone wolf at it. You take jobs, and as you take more and more jobs, you will eventually take the S-rank mage exam. Mage is also a pretty good word. I think they actually call them mages as well. But yeah, you take the S-rank mage exam to eventually become an S-rank, which is a pretty good rank. There's also, I wouldn't say there's ranks above that. I mean, of course you can become a guild master, and well, yeah, so let's say just entry wizard. Oh well, entry wizard sounds bad as well, because you could be a veteran and just never had past the S rank. But then again, I'm getting way too much into this, because if you haven't watched the show, you're gonna be like, oh, what the fuck are you talking about? So my apologies for that. But yeah, the villain as well, you pretty much get introduced to one of the main bad guys really early on, but you do not see that guy in a good while. You do not see that entity, or whatever you want to call that, evil force in a good while. Like, they do it well, they do it really well. They especially do backstory well as well, and Fairy Tail barely has filler. And what little filler there is, they do have like a big arc of filler that you could skip. I mean, there's some pretty cool stuff happening in there. I think right now they have 2 big arcs of filler. And honestly, both of them pretty interesting. And they also have a few stray filler episodes, like a body swapping episode, which is just, it's amazingly fun, because you've got a silly character like Happy, which is one of the cats in there. It's a small blue cat who talks. He's ridiculously funny. I love him. Look, there's no way you cannot love Happy, okay? There's absolutely no way. And he body swaps with Urza, and Urza is really all about rules and everything, and pretty awesome character. I love her. One of my favorites in the show, definitely. And they body swap with each other, and it's just, it's a funny episode, honestly. That is such a funny episode. If you just want to watch something ridiculously silly, that is an episode to watch. Even if you don't like Fairy Tail, I mean, it might win you over. It might win you over. But yeah, it's just so lighthearted at times, and then shit does get real. I like the powers in it. I like how they execute magic, because it's done in such a non-traditional way. Because again, I would expect something just traditional magic, like people with staffs and stuff like that, just flinging fire bolts and everything at each other. Not at all this. Not at all this. They're actually doing magic in a ridiculous way, in a way that there is stupid amounts of magic available, and it's just a joy to see new people, new magic forms and everything in the show introduced. And yeah, animation holds up. The soundtrack, by the way, phenomenal. Absolutely. I say soundtrack like it's a game. It's because I do a lot of gaming content. Well, of course, 100% of what I do on my main channel is gaming content. So there's your explanation. But yeah, I'm just gonna call it soundtrack. Like, the music for the show is incredible. The battle theme is one of the best, and just, oh, guys, it is good. Honestly, even if you don't like the show, give that music a shot, because you deserve it. That music deserves it. It's awesome. It is absolutely awesome. So I think I want to do more of these rambly freeforms, for this channel. I also want to start actually discussing chapters and everything, but mostly I do want to hear ideas from you guys. What do you want to see on the channel? Because I want I want to kick this channel back into activity. I want to run the channel as well because, well, yeah, I like anime and stuff. I like manga. I mean, I could, of course, when I get new figurines or whatever, also show them off on this channel. That seems like a fun idea. Pretty much anything related to anime, manga, blah, blah, blah. And just, yeah, on this topic, I want to throw on here. So I want to hear suggestions from you guys. But yeah, that's pretty much why Fairy Tail is my favorite long-running show. There's not so much bullshit, like, for example, near the end of Shippuden, if you're watching it, or if you have read it, if you're fully up to date and everything, you know what I'm talking about. There's a bunch of bullshit going on with the end of Shippuden, and it's kind of crazy. It kind of seems like, oh, that's just full troll mode. And in Fairy Tail, honestly, much less so. And I love the pacing in that show, because Fairy Tail, if there is ever a long-running show that does pacing well and doesn't just throw so much filler in your face, and I know some people are gonna say like, oh, Fairy Tail had a long hiatus though. Sure, but you know what? The show is still alive. It's now actively running again, and that hiatus, I'm saying it so rarely, that hiatus is not as long as the gap between Attack on Titan Series 1 to Series 2, because we're first getting an Attack on Titan movie, and then way and way on, we're getting like Series 2, which now, if we've all read the manga, and most of the people have read the manga by now, because we're all like, you know what, we can't wait for this shit, that's ridiculous. So we all know that crazy shit is gonna happen, and I myself have already realized, like, this is probably not even gonna cover, well, it's not even gonna cover all of Series 2. It's long past Series 2, in my opinion, if you're reading the Attack on Titan manga, but I'm getting way sidetracked now. But yeah, they had one hiatus, and now they're back on track again. Hiro Mashima, amazing guy. He also has two kind of spin-offs. Spin-off? I say it really weirdly. I don't know what's up with me today, guys. I say words weirdly today. But yeah, he has two spin-off mangas. I think one is actually also one is illustrated and drawn, but illustrated and drawn, that's the same thing. Illustrated and how would you call the text? It's just dialogue done also by one of his writing assistants, I believe. I might have gotten some info wrong, but that one is Ice Trail. It's pretty much about before Gray Fullbuster, who is one of the wizards in Fairy Tail, before he joined Fairy Tail. That's the story about him. And the other one is by him, I believe. It's about Mavis Vermilion, which is the original master of Fairy Tail, and it's a prequel kind of manga to setting up Fairy Tail. It's really interesting, especially if you love the world of Fairy Tail and you're like, I want to know more about Mavis. And stuff gets interesting. Stuff gets really interesting because one of the main villains is also in that. So yeah, there's a lot of Fairy Tail stuff out there right now. I mean, I believe it's one of the hottest, longest running shows out there. And you know what? It fully earned it. I gave it shit to begin with, but I was proven wrong by just checking it out and giving it a fair chance. And afterwards, you know what? I felt like an asshole. I felt like an absolute asshole because it is a good show. I like it. I wish they would make more figurines, and yeah, just more figurines is what I want to get. I mean, I do have 2 wall scrolls of Fairy Tail here. I've got 1 figurine of Fairy Tail. I've got all the Celestial Zodiac keys from Lucy. I've got them in keychain form, so that's pretty cool. Look, guys, I like this stuff, okay? I like this stuff. So let me know what's your favorite, or do you like Fairy Tail? Let me know in the comments down below, because I want to get discussions going on this as well. And do let me know suggestions for what kind of stuff do you want to see on here, because I want to kick this back into activity, and that's what I'm doing with this video. I'm sorry if I got way too rambly. I think I still did a pretty decent job, but then again, I might have just talked about everything, but you know what? I'm just excited to be back. So thank you guys very much for watching, listening, and see you next time. See you!